Okay, we are at Olly's garage to come and check out some of the cool cars that he's got. He's busy opening the garage in the background. As you can see, this is the entrance car. So come, let's have a look at what he's got.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
That's about you. I'm on this now.
Very well. Mark, pleased to meet you.
Hello.
Lekker, man. It's my son Travis and my cameraman, yeah. Yo, Olly. So you really crammed them in here, eh?
Yeah. And I'm obviously locked down. We'll have to take the catch off first.
Oh, sorry, meow.
Yeah, come. Sorry to disturb you.
Yo. Looks just like HERBIE.
Yeah, we bought it exact spec as HERBIE.
Yo.
Even the seats are down to the exact spec as HERBIE. It's a 1962. HERBIE was a 63.
Okay.
And it's a rag top, which makes it quite better. Obviously, HERBIE was a left-hand drive, we right-hand drive.
Yeah, but still.
So we've widened the rims as per original. It's got a 2.2 litre motor, diesel motor. I can pull it forward a bit and we'll show you.
Yo. It looks just like HERBIE, eh?
Yeah.
You can't believe it. It's like, even the wider tires, it's like what makes it. Yo.
So it's got a nice strong
twin
2.2 motor with 44 RDAs.
Yo. Yes, yeah, so you've got all the heat pipes and everything is in, eh?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen a Beetle with these pipes in. I don't think I've ever seen one. You know, because by the time we see them, they've all been stripped and
Yeah,
boxed.
then I bought a nice red, nice kilo for it. I got it from actually from John.
Oh, okay, that one with the...
So the red counter.
Okay,
I haven't
yes.
fixed it yet.
Yeah, those are, I couldn't believe it when Jacques showed me that thing and I said, you know, somebody that's building things to fit in all these old cars.
And then the petrol flap that goes here, that like it looks like a Cobra, you know, it's got that big
Yes.
That's only I'm waiting for. I've ordered this coming from the States.
Oh, okay.
And then this car then is the exact replica of the...
Yo.
We bought it in 3 weeks. From a pan that was rusted to a body that was rusted. 4 of us in lockdown. 4 days I was just depressed being stuck at home.
Yeah, I'm
So
sure.
I phoned four of the staff members. I said, guys, should we build a HERBIE? So they came here. So one guy worked on the metal work on fixing the pan because it's rusted.
Yeah.
The next guy did the body. And then we reconditioned all the suspension.
And what type of front end has it got? Has it got the...
All standard, we just lowered it
drums
slightly.
and stuff like
We
that?
left it with the drums because the HERBIE ran the drums.
Okay.
I don't like adapter plates.
Yes.
Because they run a 4 stud like the Golf one, a 4x100, but I want the original 5x205.
Okay.
Maybe
So you just dropped it, but
if
yeah, but it looks
set
nice.
up properly, there's nothing wrong with drums.
Yeah, for sure. Yo, even the eyelids. Now these are the just like a replacement or the original?
Yeah, you add them on. You add those
okay.
onto the front there, yeah.
Yes, yeah.
But it's as per the original. The headlining is coming from the States. It's all in custom, so that's the only thing I'm just going to put is the headlining.
Okay. Yes, like that. You know, if you think just on these old cars, what these just the fenders are worth, you know?
Yes.
And you can't find them, you know? So I see Jacques all the time when he buys things, and I'm like, what is that? No, he bought a steering wheel. It's like, what's that? No, it's a special edition for a deluxe Beetle
The
and
SP,
whatever, the SP, you know? It's like, I'm like, I don't understand. He says, no, sometimes you see in a picture, the guy will post one thing, then you see something in the picture in the background, and you phone him and say, oh, haven't you? What about that thing there? And the guy doesn't know what he's got. Yeah. Oh, he thinks, oh, it's just a fender. Meantime, it's a early, desirable, you know, the correct one, and he goes and he finds him. So you're probably the same. You was.
Now we know what's
imagine
valuable.
to find all these cars, you know, to find a Beetle like this. I mean, what's this car worth? Just the car. Without all the stuff you've done to it, you know, if you find them, they, what, 100, 200,000, 300,000?
Yeah, this is probably worth about 450 now.
Yeah, I'm sure. And I mean, it's beautiful, you know, it's not even anything out of place. All the seams. I mean, can you imagine how much is that grill? You know?
Very expensive.
I'm telling you.
But even it's all detailed, this whole car.
So now what did you build it for? Just a showpiece?
Just a car, you know, about manager, she's a lady, Monia, and her husband works for me.
Okay.
So what I just did is just to build it for their morale. So what I said to them is that they help me with labour, I don't pay them.
Okay.
And I give them a 20% share in the car, if we ever sell it one day.
Okay, oh that's a
So
very
basically
good
it's
thing,
like a cheap body,
Yeah.
and now that we bought, so I supplied all the parts, labour, I helped with it.
Okay.
And then they did all the assembly and everything, and then I give them a 20% share in it.
What an awesome idea.
So at least then they put lots of effort in and they have fun. They can use it whenever they want. I've just registered HERBIE ZN.
Okay.
So you're going to put the plate.
Jeez,
And then
did nobody have HERBIE ZN?
I changed it
For the E with a 3 or
the
something?
I with the 1.
Okay. Oh,
And then I
okay.
managed to get R8 Audi. Wasn't taken. Audi R8 was taken, but R8 Audi wasn't taken. So I've got that.
So how's your V10 coming along? The one you heard about?
Yeah, it was I was lucky not to buy it.
Why?
Because we went through, I phoned up the guy that drove it, Peter Maskell from the auctioneer.
Okay.
For 3-4 days, didn't answer my calls. So I was stressing because they said that the sat nav and the radio's not working, the steering feels stiff. But I know they do feel stiff because of the 4-wheel drive.
Yeah.
So, but I wanted to ask him.
Yeah.
So I know the lady at Audi here. So I phoned her. I said to her, please give me the history on this car. So she gave me the history. She says it was towed in February 2019 to Ladysmith Audi. So I phoned them and I said, well, what was the fault? So they said, ECU, this. So I thought, oh, there's a problem. So I said, can I please speak to the technician? So they wouldn't put me through to him. So I said, give me the owner's details. So she says, I can't give it to you. So I said, please make a plan. I'm trying to buy the car. So it was Mrs. De Beer, gave me a sign on my phone up, and she says, which one? We got 3.
Oh.
So I said to her, okay, now the black one. So she says, oh, we got 2 black ones. The one with the carbon fiber. So I said, she said, yes. They stay on a farm and the rats had eaten the wires, and that's why they towed it into Audi. Audi fixed it, but they didn't fix everything properly.
Oh, it's got an electronic problem.
The rats got in, so I went and Googled it. They had to virtually strip the whole interior, the whole engine out. It's like 60 hours labour just to repair a couple of wires.
Yo.
So I quickly phoned the bank and withdrew my bid.
You're lucky, eh? That's like,
Yeah.
just dodge that bullet. Yeah,
But then
I
I
know.
spoke to the technician the next day. He phoned me back, the guy, the manager, and he said that they didn't actually have to take the engine out. They managed to, there's an inspection plate
Okay.
when the seats came out, and they managed to get in there to repair the wires, and he said the car was perfect. What I think's happened is the lady parked it back on the farm,
And the rats came back into
came
the
back and ate it.
Yeah.
But it's just a risk, because now, has it
Yo.
eaten even worse? Has it now blown, it hasn't blown an ECU?
I know when my RS4 caught fire and I had to replace the harness, I tried repairing the wires first. And no ways, it still came up as a tree of faults. All the things kept on coming back. And all I did, put a new harness in, car started immediately. So, yeah, you can't mess around with wiring. Yeah, you gotta, if you do it, you gotta do it properly. You gotta strip it to that extent, put a new harness in, and then you know it's right.
Yeah.
But you've never know. You know, some of those mouses and things are like this. They get into spaces you'll never be able to get into.
Yeah.
So
it's just a risk, you know. Do I really want to know that?
yeah, and still have
then
to work on it for months.
Perfect
And
running one.
yeah.
And you know, the difference is half a second, not to 100, what's the real difference?
That's for twin turbos, you know. You can buy the kits overseas from underground racing. You know, they sell them. So I'm sure they say it's like 300,000 or something.
Okay.
Yeah, for like.
But you have to lower the compression and...
No, they start off with stock block stuff. You know, it's just stock block. It's basically you take off the exhaust and stuff, and they, you know, when you take off the back of the R8, it's all open. So they basically fit it into that space, and it's just your exhaust like come around to where the original pipes came out. But they fit it in there. You can't even.
Take it to Rob Green and fit a supercharger.
Even that, it's easier probably to do a supercharger. I just think something.
But just the sound of that V10 is the same.
Yeah, you know how it goes.
But I'll look for one, you know, they're all bargains.
Okay, this is one of the ones.
Yeah, this is one of the briggs Superbosses.
Yo. Check at this thing. Yo. Where are you ever going to find another Superboss? This is a proper racing car, eh?
Yeah, this is his original car. Aluminium roll cage. Mark Briggs has authenticated both the cars. I've bought actually all 3.
Okay.
So that's the original Recaro seat that he raced with. It's still got the stamp, the thing 1989. November 1989, the little badge on the seat. I just had it recovered. So it's all its original interior, original motor.
So were these cars built from a standard car?
Yes.
Or was this, so they took a Superboss?
They took a Superboss, they actually took a Big Boss.
Yeah.
And they took their cars from 89, they seam welded the whole body.
Okay.
They moved the shock turrets back by 40 mils.
Shucks, eh?
To give it more caster,
Okay.
more positive caster. They then did a couple of tricks in the gearbox. They strengthened up, there's like a little crossing on the limited slip.
Okay.
Couple of little tricks in the motor. A standard Superboss is 125 kilowatts. These motors, they made about 145 when they raced them. So it's just blueprinted. They ran cast heads. You get a cast, then you get a Cosworth.
Okay.
And they brought in about 10 genuine Cosworth heads.
Okay.
And the race cars had the genuine Cosworth heads.
Oh shucks, so the ones that came out of the street car were all like
Cars. There were only 2 road cars, my black one which I just sold the other day, that had a genuine Cosworth head, and then there's another guy in the Superboss group that's also got a genuine Cosworth. So there's a big difference between it, because you get a GM head, a cast head, and then you get a genuine Cosworth head.
Oh, okay. So
this is got a genuine Cosworth head on.
So this means this was done in the UK by Cosworth themselves.
Well, they brought in the heads. They went over, got the shricks. They got the genuine heads. They were done properly. Those Cosworth, they're proper racing heads.
Oh, okay.
With probably 3-angle seats.
So when did this car actually race?
This car raced in 1990, 91.
Okay.
And then Mark Briggs actually had 3 Class A cars, so he had the choice at each track. Every car handles the same. So when you get to the racetrack, he would drive his one, drive his second, drive his third. They'd do setup. Then for the race, he would choose out of the 3 which is the best one for the day.
Oh, okay. So
and then they just swap the stickers over. Then Roddy Turner was second teammate in Class A. So then Roddy Turner would drive the second car.
Shucks, eh?
So I never knew that. So when I first bought this car, I put Roddy Turner on.
Okay.
And then Mark said, but why have you got Roddy Turner on this car? I said, well, the silver car, your 92 car, I'll put your name on.
Yeah.
He says, no, well, I drove all 3 cars. You know, you can't say that was my car. I had 3 cars for that season.
Okay, and because he was the primary driver, he
chose the best one for the child.
So what, were they sponsored? Was this like under
this
Opel Motorsport?
Yeah, this was a Delta Motor Corporation factory car.
Yes, like it, eh?
So this is a fully authenticated, full race factory car. The team manager was a guy called Peter Led. He's actually from Port Shepstone.
Jeez, like it. How's that for a...
Yeah.
And still the original Superboss rims as well.
Yeah, what they also did is to stop the guys from stealing. You see what they did to all the Superboss rims? They cut them like that so you can't put caps on them. So we didn't even know. So the first thing what Peter did is when he came and looked, he says, you've even got the original rims. I said, how do you know that? He says, because they did that to
so
stop
they
the guys.
steal out of the
This is not an original one, but I've got on the silver car they've got all the original ones on. And it's obviously an aluminium roll cage to make it lighter.
Is this thing running? Has it got an engine and everything in it?
Yeah.
You started?
I haven't started in times, but I'm sure I can start it.
Yo, it's handling.
Let me just lift the one.
This is for all the Superboss lovers. I'm gonna go slow. Look. Yo.
It's a bit dirty. So the shock turrets, these are all special motorsport. They had a special tool that went in to turn it to adjust the caster and camber.
Okay. Yeah, and it's got the proper Superboss intake. A lot of guys think they've got Superbosses and then they haven't got the correct intake. They have the normal.
I borrowed this regulator. I can just go grab it out of my car and I can plug it back in.
Yo, totally. Yeah, how often do you see something like this?
Makes me think of my yellow one.
Yeah, it's also 2-door.
I know the Cosworths, they have a stamp on the side of the head somewhere.
Yep.
Can I do just like the whole around all the
You
cars?
can do whatever. We're still gonna go look at more cars. These are just like his show cars.
The
Try to do-
screen keeps going off.
It does go off as it's filming. ice now? Is it just on chocolate?
No, it's in Munster.
Oh, okay.
Stays
This
in
is just
Munster.
your
Yeah, this is
workshop.
just my workshop, yeah.
Do you have people staying on premises or?
No.
And you don't have any problem, any crime or anything? Where do all your cars sitting in there?
Should start. Hope so. My black one had a problem with that, so I borrowed the one from
Get in the shuffle. Superboss owners, let's hope it starts. Hold your thumbs, hold both thumbs. Ah, there's it.
Superboss sound.
Listen to it, Superboss. And this is still running the original factory system. The original 5
with the motorsport chipping in. It gets slightly wild and then a status.
Yeah, you can hear,
These cans are the 276 shoot can. Obviously, the factory did a little bit of tricks on the can, maybe a change the profile slightly. But this is the original bricks motor. And it's got the cast head because it doesn't, remember you can see here, the other ones have a gallery that comes out the head there. This has got
okay.
no, so this is a genuine Cosworth V.
Ah, okay. He's like it, eh?
And it doesn't mean starting in about 6 months.
6 months.
Yeah, we've been in lockdown.
Serious?
Yeah.
I was trying to get the running shots here. Sounds awesome. Let's get one at the back there. A little bit dark inside. Let me just go to the front, just give it 1 or 2 revs for me. Oh, okay.
Look, we had a little prang, a little bump in there, so we did quick touch up. So I need to just
okay.
detail a little bit more, but we'll do it before.
But I mean, it's a racing car.
Yeah.
It's a racing car. You can't believe it, and that engine is quiet. There's not a tappet noise at all. Yo. So now, how much is a car like this worth? No value.
Now the problem is, you can't just go buy one. You know,
Yeah,
you
you
can't
can't.
just go say, I want the Mark Briggs Superboss. You know, so the thing is,
Oh, look, to find a Superboss, a proper Superboss, to find one of the 10 or one of the 2, but to find this, you know, so the guys who've got these, you'll never see
there's
these cars again.
only 3 factory cars that went to Zim, and I bought all 3 of them.
Okay.
But I only managed to buy 2 out of the 3 because
Okay.
the third one was just too far gone.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a difficult one to say. You know, the thing is, what kind of value can you put on? You know,
But you still go and you put this on the
I
track.
race it. Yeah, we race it every January. We race it. I maybe do 2 or 3 events a year with it.
Ah, okay. It's just that, you know, this is so nice because it's history of the cars that these cars will go usually into someone's collection and you don't see them again.
Yes.
You know, that you still take it out and still go race with them, you know, to get
Yeah,
them on
we
the
took
track
in
that you
January,
use
the
them.
end of January, I took the 2 Superbosses. My
Okay.
brother drove this. Sean van der Linde drove his original 1993 325 IS.
Okay.
I bought it, took it up there. Sean won both races, and my brother came second.
Oh, that must have been so nice for him, you know, that nostalgia for him.
Yeah, he hadn't been in that car, they said, for like 30 years.
Yo.
27 years.
Yo.
I've even got his original race uniform. He gave it to me, and he's going to give me his helmet as well.
That's also, it's cars that you...
Because he started his career with BMW in their 325 IS.
Yo.
Then he went on to the touring cars.
But now what happened? Why did he never get to buy that car? You know, if you think that's his first car.
Well, you know, the thing is, it was a factory car.
Okay.
And every year they replaced with a better and faster model. So
Okay.
that car went to Zimbabwe. Gary Kirk bought the car in '94.
Okay.
He then raced it.
Okay.
And then they made it back into a road car. The car had a big accident.
Okay.
Then a guy rebuilt the car. He then sold it and moved to New Zealand.
Jeez,
then when
like
I was rebuilding the car, I posted on the 325 IS Facebook site.
Okay.
And he phoned me up and said, "You got my car?" I said, "Well, how do you know? It's your car." And then he told me the whole story. He flew out here for the race Passion for Speed to
Okay.
come see his car. He had been searching for that car for all these years. Because he left in 2000, he went to New Zealand.
So when you say the guys made it to a road car, did somebody put a full interior in it?
And it had all this interior.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he just took the roll cage out, the aluminium roll cage.
Okay.
And he painted an odd colour. He painted like a bronzy colour.
Okay.
And then I found the car and I restored it back to its original form and glory.
Yo, okay,
But it still had all the
come
proper
and see that
suspension.
one. You say it's still there.
It's at
right?
Sean's place at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure he's loving it. You know, just to walk through his showroom every day and see his car that started it all for him, you know?
Yeah. Now this is...
If it's not a Superboss, now it's a TS. Yo.
Now this is quite weird. This is a very rare colour. There were only apparently 3 ever painted in this colour.
Originally from
GM.
Delta. Yo.
Yeah, it was original factory paint code, everything.
Hey.
So this is like all original, this car. So it's a 49E paint code.
Okay.
But this is got its original remote, everything stock standard, original ECU, everything's running original on this car. I haven't done anything to it. So what I did is, over there is my other green one,
Okay, yeah,
I restored, which is the exact same color as this.
Okay.
So I sold that one before lockdown,
Okay.
and then I bought this one, and it's
Like
exact
how
same
do
color. So now,
How do you find these? You know, you don't find something like this just on Facebook or on junk mail. How do you find? I mean, it's so neat and original. I mean, it's like uncanny. Everything is like.
so I wanted more of the original car, so I sold that one, and then this one fell into my laps.
Yes.
And it's a original rare color. So there were only 3 ever made, and I've got like 2 here.
Yo. I'm telling you, just these 2. You know, these are unobtainium now. You know, you can find Superbosses, but and you can find TSs, but they've all been modified. They've all been bastardized. None of them still got their original turbos on. Got, you know, to just see this original part here, you know, and this cover, because everyone upgrades them and then the stuff doesn't fit anymore, you know.
Yeah, my one that I got had a massive turbo on, huge intercooler, so I put it back to standard.
Okay.
But the aircon didn't work. This one, all the aircon works. It's got this factory remote that locks and unlocks, so that's why I preferred this car.
Yo, yeah, I can see
So I'm
it.
going to
Super
detail
neat.
it and send the seats to be redone, the leather on them. So it's only done 170 odd thousand K. So it's
And
a
where
nice
did you
car.
find this car?
In the Northern Cape.
Yes, like it. Yeah, you see, you got to be ready when things like this come up. You got to be ready. You know, I've been saying for years, you know, Golf 2s, you know, Golf 3s, you know,
Yes.
you got to buy the GTRs, you got to buy the VR6s. Now, 10 years later, from saying that, now you can't find them.
That's it.
To find like an aircon spec VR6 with the airbag spec one with the twin airbags, you're paying 100,000 for one that's been modified, you know, that's been in an accident. You know, to find original cars is very, very difficult. And you like to say, you find them in places like the Cape, where it's been on an estate, or you know, someone just had an extra car in the garage and now they want to get a bit more space and they sell it, you know.
Yeah.
But I've been looking for a TS for ages. I don't even come across them on Facebook. You don't come across anything like that. So that is a very rare car. And what the heck is it?
Now this is a Porsche 914 1970. I'm just storing it here for a friend. I'm probably going to end up buying it, but it's got a body kit from the States.
Okay.
They,
like a wide body.
Yeah, they upgraded it. They fitted a rotary motor into it.
Oh shucks, eh?
And very nice conversion, but I don't really like it. You know, it's not my cup.
But it must be much more powerful than the original setup.
Yeah, the motor's out. It's just smoking.
Okay.
So I'm going to just help him get it running.
Jeez, love. Let's take a picture of that. No engine. Maybe we can come with some stupid ideas. Because you know what's going to be the where. Oh, where. And
So I just bought a standard one and arrived here on Friday night that needs to be restored, but it's totally original. So what I might just do is buy this car and then use the interior and glass and some of the parts from this car.
Okay, without the wide body and stuff like that.
Yeah.
What year model is this?
1970.
Hey, back in those days they were going so fast with these old cars. You know, I'm sure in South Africa there's probably some records that were set back in the days with cars like this.
Yes.
And that are still standing today.
Some people like the look, I don't like it. Yeah, then this is my R32.
Two-door R32, guys. A two-door. Jeez, like, and this one probably from the UK.
Yeah, there's still got a UK number plates on.
Yo, yeah, let me get you. Jeez,
I
like
haven't driven it in months.
Still got the UK number plate on it.
A little bit of surface rust on the suspension, so I wanted to get it on, take all the suspension, detail it, make it look good, do a little bit of work on the interior.
Yo. It's still neat, it's just a little bit on the bolster here.
Yeah.
Open it. So, how much are you going to charge me to import one, Ollie?
I battled to get this one in.
Oh, you said most it was some special...
Yeah, I put it on my museum license. But I must bring it to you, maybe I'll get you to detail the suspension.
Yeah, that's easy. Put it on, if it's on the lift, it's easy.
Yeah.
Yo, yeah, you can close this one. And this in the corner?
Now this is a common gear, this is one of my race cars, very quick. It's got a potent scat motor.
Oh, okay, so there's an engine in the back.
Yeah, it's air-cooled, but extremely strong.
Yo. You obviously don't race this one often, it's right in the corner.
Yeah, no, the motor, I damaged the motor and I've just rebuilt it, so I just had to fit it back in.
So it's got an air-cooled...
Air-cooled, yeah. I think the motor's around the corner here. Yeah, here's the motor.
And some bananas.
Yeah, special scat heads. Don't even ask me how much those heads cost.
Oh yeah, look at that, eh?
Hey?
That's not something that you see every
They're
day.
individual heads.
Yeah, I can see.
So this is a 2.7 litre.
And it's got the Porsche logo. Yeah, it's amazing.
Now that was the old motor that had a problem, and then I've rebuilt a complete new motor with scat heads and everything.
What sort of power figures is this thing?
Well, they'll make about over 200 horsepower, like 250 horsepower.
Yo. And the car must weigh like literally nothing.
Yeah.
What
That's
is it? Metal or fiberglass?
It's metal and the front's fiberglass.
Yo. So when do you race this thing?
Well, I must just put the motor back in.
I mean, do you only race in series like the historics?
Yes, in the historics, yeah, that's it, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is a 1957 split window, but it's a Samba with the windows.
So what is this, like the 27
23,
or 42 window, I don't know, all these.
Yeah.
It's the one with a lot of windows.
The expensive one.
Everyone wants.
Yeah.
The one
This
with
is the
most
expensive one.
windows. Yeah, you see these ones here. You see these ones. These are the ones that the people want.
Yeah,
All
so
these
it's
ones on
seeding
top.
wax red, or candle
Yeah.
wax red, and then it's chestnut brown.
It's brown.
Yeah, it's a
And the
brown,
light it must
yeah.
be. Yo.
So it looks black, and then but in the shade. it
So
says
this is
it's
your
brown.
retirement one.
It's actually a client's car.
Oh shucks.
Yeah, this is not mine. I sold it to him.
Ah, yeah, well, so it was yours.
was
Did he make you an offer you couldn't refuse?
That's it.
Yeah. Hey, check all the rims on top there. Check out
I've
all
filmed the
white ones.
Superboss rims there, spare ones, just lying there.
Yeah. Get some of this here. Check this here. All of this is.
Now that's a Porsche 356 motor. This is a turbo motor I'm busy building.
Yeah. And there's the car that was on the dyno that nearly singed your face off.
Yeah, it's the ex-Basil van Rooyen car. And that car won the 65 championship, 66 championship. In 1966 it went over to Brands Hatch.
Okay.
And it raced in an international race, and he put it on its side because it was raining. And they rated that car as the fastest Mustang in the world.
At that
At
time.
that time.
Jeez, like it. It's amazing. Let's take a photo.
And that's an Escort I used to race.
But geez, to find some of these cars.
Now this is how I started
You
off
know?
racing. That was my very first race car.
Jeez, like
I've
it.
got so
How long-
many
how long
pictures. I was
that?
just, yeah, that was when I was 16.
Yo.
And then that was, I was sponsored by Panasonic. I rolled that car 9 times at the old slot course where Sean van der Linde rolled that Enviro car, touring car, same corner.
Yo.
And then I rebuilt it into this. I built it, reshelled it, and built that one.
Jeez,
I must actually pull out all my racing car pictures. These are just the odd ones that I found.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, but it's nice because this is like your place to come, and you've got all the stuff you can look and have all that history around you.
Years ago. I've got also so many trophies in boxes. I must say, these are just the local ones that we've just done in the last couple of years. Yeah, so that's
Jeez, him, eh?
skinny.
That
in
was
those
young
days.
days, eh? Yo. It's like it. Yeah, just all the.
Yeah, so
all
that
the
picture
trophies.
there is the Basil van Rooyen car, racing many years ago.
Ah, okay.
That's David Piper in his Ferrari in the front.
Okay, okay. Let me go closer to this.
Ollie,
Yeah.
I'm going. Because Morgan's at home. So, you just bring the. You've got the.
This is a bar. This is a bar.
Eh?
It's a bar.
What?
Can't you get
It's called the Rose and we do.
It's a bar.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, like it, eh?
It's got a sleep gym. Jeez, like it.
Got a kitchen built into the corner there.
Yes.
That's what we call a retro man,
And this
man
desk?
cave sort of thing.
Check this desk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm checking it. Yes, like it, eh?
Yeah.
So what, you just put body panels onto it?
No, it wasn't us, but it had a very bad side crash. So I cut it up and made a bar for my foot here. 5 years ago. 6 years.
So awesome.
I had it in my house, but my wife hated it, so I brought it here.
Well, this is where it should be. You know, it should be about all the race cars and stuff like it. Behind garage number 1 is more garages.
Yeah, so I bought in some engines from the States.
Okay.
So what I did is I simply look at the wiring harness on the shed, how big it is.
Okay.
So we simplified the wiring.
Jeez, like it.
And then we flash drive the ECU. I got it done in Durban. I wanted someone to try help me that can do it locally.
Okay.
And then yeah, so now we can, if I send the engine, I can start it up for the.
Oh, okay. Just watch this. good. South African air filter. Yes, and what are you putting these into?
Well, I just bought in a couple when I bought in 2 Mustangs, so then I just bought a couple of motors in. So I bought in a Cummins diesel, which I sold, and then I bought in 6 motors. So I bought in 2 Fords and 4 Chevys.
Okay, and how much do these things cost, landed?
Well, those Ford ones I'm selling for about 14 grand.
That's not so bad.
And then the Chevy, the older generation Chevy, probably about 22. And then these new generation, this is the new 5.4 and 6 litre.
Okay,
We're selling these for about 50
Yeah,
Like running, serviced, running, ECU flash, everything. So you can start up, run it, the Otis takes it.
With the automatic, with everything.
Yeah, the Otis connects up 4 wires, now the whole marcher. What the wires are, there's like 4 wires to connect, and there's the car runs.
You see, that's why it's so easy for the Americans. They've got all this stuff on demand, and there's someone who's cracked the issue, there's someone who's done all this stuff for them.
Yeah, so that's how I bought the stand, so you can start it, because you know there's only worse than buying a motor and something.
Yeah. Yes, sir, just cut it off, eh?
Yeah. Then I've got
This
this
is obviously out of a
AM
wrecking yard, but it's quite a,
proper.
yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
And aluminium, for weight. So this is out of like luminas and those type of
You
parts?
are actually out of a truck. It's out of a truck, and all the Americans have thousands of those trucks there.
Oh, okay, like the Chevy Silverados
Yes,
and those
that's
type of things.
exactly what
Oh, okay.
This is the LS3.
Yeah, it's a new spec. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's I think it's the LS3. Yeah.
Jeez, like.
You get the 5. I think it's a 5.3, 5.4, and then you get the 6 litre.
So next time you bring them in, you know, just tell me so we can. I want to build a spinning car.
Okay.
So something like this, yeah, that's not a lot of money if you think about it for a full turnkey solution.
Yeah, well that's it. Just all
I mean,
you to do is
turnkey. It's
connect
literally.
Well, that's the thing. So I've got 2 here. What I want to just do is build another wiring harness, flash the second computer box,
Okay.
and then at least then I'll start selling them. This is all I've
then
done
what
in
we need
last-
to do, we need to do the computer box setup.
Can
then
you
we
do
just
this?
put
Can
2
you help me?
turbos. I'm sure we can get someone who must be able to do them.
Yeah.
Rod will probably be able. It's probably like a decoded file and
Now
stuff.
what it is this anti-theft system.
Yes,
Then
yes.
all you do is usually take off the traction control. There's like a couple of things that you just take off.
I'm sure the
ABS.
Jacques' friend Rod will be able to handle something like that. He's done quite a few ECUs for me already,
alright.
and he does.
Well,
all
I
that
can
stuff
send
with-
him this one that's already
Yes,
been
then
done.
you can clone it, yeah.
And then in those boxes are all the other
Yes, he can. He
ECUs.
clones them. Yeah, he clones them. I have had it before that we sent ECUs to him. I did a Q7 that the computer box packed up with water damage.
Because this one's got no lock on it now.
Yes. So he'll basically decode it and then flash it to whatever files
Okay.
in there. Yeah.
Perfect.
so
Well, now,
speak
if
to
you give
Jean.
his number, yeah.
Yeah, I've got his number. I'll give it to you. Yes, like it.
Then
this
this
is
is-
like the perfect thing to put into like an old Chevy truck. You know, there's like a old retro style.
Yes.
Because I see the guys are doing like BMs and stuff like that. But
No, so this is a 1989 300 CE Hammer. What happened is years ago the motor blew on it.
okay.
So they took the motor out and put a 6-cylinder back into the cross members, all being cut and everything on it.
Okay.
The clocks I've got is 320 k's an hour.
Yo.
They installed in the guy when I bought it from him. It's the only one in South Africa. It's got a full. This is not fiberglass. All the original Hammer stuff.
There was. Did you ever see? I think there was a grey one. Herbisher. It's always Herbisher. The station wagon work around. in
Yes,
Chepstow.
yes.
That's also one of those that it was done by AMG.
These rims are worth more than this car. These are BBS Marley era. They were only fitted to the Hammer.
Jeez, like.
So the rims, I've been offered 100k just for these rims.
Jeez, like.
So what I'm going to do now is I found a correct motor for it.
Okay.
So I'm going to put the motor back into it. I've got the original motor from this car. It was totally buggered. Branches, everything. I'll show you when we go up to the other workshop. So the guy had blown the motor, but he couldn't get, because that was stroked to 5.4 litre from a 500.
Okay.
But it was, I sent it to Joe to rebuild, and the oak says throw it away. It's too badly damaged.
Okay.
So then I found
So
this
it's like
motor.
a 500 SE sort of motor.
Similar to that,
old
yeah.
ones.
So
Okay.
this is a 5.4 motor that's been stroked.
Yo.
So I've got this one in. I brought this in from overseas, and now I'm going to fit it back into the car.
And now you don't battle to import these engines and stuff like that from overseas.
Just get import permits and just do it.
Just get a normal importer's permit.
Yeah.
So you can probably buy them online.
Yeah, this was covered in thick grease. We just cleaned it. Our guys are going to pull the motor out next week, and we're going to put it back to how it ran in the 1990s.
But now what about the ECU and all that other stuff?
It doesn't really run in ECU.
Oh yes, cage it. Okay, yes.
But I've got the computers for it.
Jeez.
And I've got the little black box, the igniter box. It's all here. Somewhere over there, igniter box. I've got all the spares with the car.
Yeah, so why didn't they just put the original motor back?
Because they couldn't get that original spec motor. So they just put this motor back in.
Jeez, like it. And this is like a normal 6-cylinder. Like
Yeah.
a 3
The car's only done 91,000 k's from new.
Jeez. This was probably like somebody's special order and got towed to a workshop and...
It's got LS in it as well.
Yes, like it, eh? But I mean, back in the day, this was like the top mark. This was,
What's it, 91 or something?
eh?
What's the mileage in? 90 something?
92,000.
92,000.
Jeez, like this thing must also go like stick with the V8.
Oh, with this motor, it was pump. You know, it's a 3-litre motor.
But still, that someone went and converted, so they spent money on it to do the conversion.
Well, it was the fastest. I got a shock the other day. My dad sent me this article. Have a look here. You're not going to believe it.
It's amazing, eh?
Oh shit.
So that folds into a double bed. It's got disc brakes on it. It's got a 1600 twin port motor.
This thing's awesome. And how reliable is that?
Yeah, I've driven to George twice. I've been up the Sani Pass. We got stuck there for 3 days in Hamburg with the snow.
I had a Beetle and that thing used to get stuck everywhere.
Is it?
And I used to make my wife push it. Even at Shelley Center, we used to go to the movies in that parking lot when he used to get stuck there. Oh, what an eyeball for her to push the car because she can't kickstart it. And then eventually I sold that Beetle. 1974 twin pot.
Okay.
Yeah, I sold it for 10 grand.
Sure.
And now the price of Beetles.
Yeah, no, it's crazy, eh?
And these petrol Bowsers?
Behind garage number 1 is more garages.
Yeah, so I bought in some engines from the States.
Okay.
So what I did is I simply looked at the wiring harness on the shed, how big it is.
Okay.
So we simplified the wiring.
Jeez, like it.
And then we flash drive the ECU. I got it done in Durban. I wanted someone to try help me. They can do it locally.
Okay.
And then yeah, so now we can. If I sell the engine, I can start it up for the.
Oh, okay. Just watch this. South African air filter. Yes, yeah, and what are you putting these into?
Well, I just bought in a couple when I bought in 2 Mustangs, so then I just bought a couple of motors in. So I bought in a Cummins diesel, which I sold, and then I bought in 6 motors. So I bought in 2 Fords and 4 Chevys.
Okay, and how much do these things cost, landed?
Well, those Ford ones I'm selling for about 14 grand.
That's not so bad.
And then the Chevy, the older generation Chevy, probably about 22. And then these new generation, this is the new 5.4 and 6 litre. We're selling these for about 50
Yeah,
but running, serviced, running, ECU flashed, everything.
Yes,
So you can start it up, run it, the Otis takes it.
With the automatic, with everything.
Yeah, the Otis connects up 4 wires, here the whole marcher. What the wires are, there's like 4 wires to connect, and there's the car runs.
You see, that's why it's so easy for the Americans. They've got all this stuff on demand, and there's someone who's cracked the issue, there's someone who's done all this stuff for them.
Yeah, so that's how I bought the stand, so you can start it, because you know there's nothing worse than buying a motor and something.
Yeah. Yes, sir, just cut it off, eh?
Yeah. Then I've got this
obviously out of
AM
a wrecking yard, but it's quite a,
proper.
yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
And aluminium, for weight. So this is out of like aluminum and those type of parts?
Yeah, actually out of a truck. It's out of a truck, and all the Americans have thousands of those trucks there.
Oh, okay, like the Chevy Silverados
Yes,
and those
that's
type of things.
exactly what it
Okay.
This is a LS3.
Yeah, it's a new spec. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's I think it's the LS3. Yeah.
Jeez, like.
You get the 5. I think it's a 5.3, 5.4, and then you get the 6 litre.
So next time you bring them in, you know, just tell me so we can. I want to build a spinning car.
Okay.
So something like this, yeah, that's not a lot of money if you think about it for a full turnkey solution.
Yeah, well that's it. Just all
I mean,
you to do is
turnkey. It's
connect
literally.
Well, that's the thing. So I've got 2 here. What I want to just do is build another wiring harness, flash the second computer box,
Okay.
and then at least then I'll start selling them. This is all like
what
that.
we need to do, we need to do the computer box setup.
Can
then
you
we
do
just
this?
put
Can
2
you help me?
turbos. I'm sure we can get someone who must be able to do them.
Yeah.
A rod will probably be able. It's probably like a decoded file and
No,
stuff.
what it is this anti-theft system.
Yes,
then
yes.
all you do is usually take off the traction control. There's like a couple of things that you just take off.
I'm sure the
ABS.
Jacques' friend Rod will be able to handle something like that. He's done quite a few ECUs for me already, and he does.
Well,
all
I
that
can
stuff.
send him this one that's already
Yes,
been
then
done.
you can clone it, sure.
And then in those boxes are all the
Yes, he can. He
ECUs.
clones them. Yeah, he clones them. I have had it before that we sent ECUs to him. I did a Q7 that the computer box packed up with water damage.
Because this one's got no lock on it now.
Yes. So he'll basically decode it and then flash it to whatever files in there. Yeah,
Perfect. Well, now,
speak
if
to
you
Jacques.
give his number, yeah.
Yeah, I've got his number. I'll give it to you. Yes, like it.
Then
this
this
is
is-
like the perfect thing to put into like an old Chevy truck. You know, there's like a old retro style.
Yes.
Because I see the guys are doing like BMs and stuff like that. But
No, so this is a 1989 300 CE Hammer. What happened is years ago the motor blew on it.
okay.
So they took the motor out and put a 6-cylinder back into the cross members, all being cut and everything on it.
Okay.
The clocks I've got is 320 k's an hour.
Yo.
They're in the store in the garden. I bought it from him. It's the only one in South Africa. It's got a full. This is not fiberglass. All the original Hammer stuff.
Did you ever see? I think there was a grey one. Urbisher. It's always Urbisher, the station wagon work around.
Yes, yes.
That's also one of those that it was done by AMG.
These rims are worth more than this car. These are BBS Marley Era. They were only fitted to the Hammer.
Jeez, like.
So the rims, I've been offered 100k just for these rims.
Jeez, like.
So what I'm going to do now is I found a correct motor for it.
Okay.
So I'm going to put the motor back into it. I've got the original motor from this car. It was totally buggered, branches, everything. I'll show you when we go up to the other workshop. So the guy had blown the motor, but he couldn't get, because that was stroked to 5.4 litre from a 500.
Okay.
But it was, I sent it to Joe to rebuild, and the oak says throw it away. It's too badly damaged.
Okay.
So then I found
So
this
it's like
motor.
a 500 SE sort of motor.
Similar to that, yeah.
Ones.
So
Okay.
this is a 5.4 motor that's been stroked.
Yo.
So I've got this one in. I brought this in from overseas, and now I'm going to fit it back into the car.
And now you don't battle to import these engines and stuff like that from overseas,
Just
do
get
you?
import permits and just do it.
Just get a normal importer's permit.
Yeah.
So you can probably buy them online.
Yeah, this was covered in thick grease. We just cleaned it. Our guys are going to pull the motor out next week, and we're going to put it back to how it ran in the 1990s.
But now what about the ECU and all that other stuff?
It doesn't really run in ECU.
Oh, yes,
cage
cage it.
it. But I've got the computers for it.
Jeez.
And I've got the little black box, the little box, the igniter box. It's all here. Somewhere over there. Igniter box. I've got all the spares with the car.
Yeah, so why didn't they just put the original motor back?
Because they couldn't get that original spec motor. So they just put this motor back in.
Jeez, like it. And this is like a normal 6-cylinder. Like a 3 litre.
The car's only done 91,000 k's from new.
Jeez. This was probably like somebody's special order and
Yeah.
got towed to a workshop and...
It's got LS in it as well.
Yes, like it, eh? But I mean, back in the day, this was like the top mark. This
Yeah.
was,
What's it, 91 or something?
eh?
What's the mileage in? 90 something?
92,000.
92,000.
Jeez, like this thing must also go like stick with the V8.
Oh, with this motor, it was pump. You know, it's a 3 litre motor.
But still, that someone went and converted, so they spent money on it to do the conversion.
Well, it was the fastest. I got a shock the other day. My dad sent me this article. Have a look here. You're not going to believe it.
Oh, it's amazing, eh?
All the motors, I've done a little test bit before.
Okay.
This one, the guy bought in lockdown, total scrap, full of body filler, total utter wreck.
Okay.
So I'm busy putting a steering wheel conversion, disc brakes, rebuilt his motor. Fully restored bus, the crane moved like this,
Hey.
it was jumping out of gear. They didn't even have rubbers on this side. And on the other side, the rubbers were totally gone. When you drove this car, it would shoot off to the right, to the left. So we just replaced all the rubbers inside here.
So they just obviously put the cap on.
Had the wrong suspension in the front was stand up, they had a bay window suspension. So yeah, so we fit steering wheel conversions and it makes them more drivable.
Yeah.
So there's the original motor from that AMG.
Oh, okay.
So you see it's got proper branches.
Yeah, and that was built by Merc.
That was built by Merc. But they overheated it, so everything is wrecked. The heads are warped. I sent it to the engineering shop and they said throw that motor away. So I've always just left it here waiting to get the right one because I didn't want to just go put a 5 litre motor in.
Yes,
so I've waited and I found the original 117 motor with a 5.
So now you'll strip off what, like
I'll take the
branches
tappet covers and
tappet covers?
branches and I'll put it into there.
Okay. Yes, like that. You can check all the stuff. So you must get a lot of accident stuff that you repair and
Yes.
build. Do you like basically find bodies and just build whole kombis?
Yeah,
out of it?
I brought 250 bodies in from Zimbabwe. So this one we've done all the metalwork. So this is a brand new panel. They were blended the paint in
Okay.
to make it look wrapped.
Yes, I can see.
Yeah. So even the back corners we've blended it in. The whole chassis has been redone.
Oh, so
And
the
then-
outside it looks wrapped, but underneath all
Yeah.
the drivetrain and everything is
So it's got all new interior in it. It looks scrap from the, but you see it's got all brand new interior inside it. All the seats are being done, headlining is being done.
Okay, there you can see. Hey. Just to be wrapped, eh?
Yeah, it's a big following with the rat. Safari windows.
How's that? Yo, Ollie. You got to, that's why you need your managers and stuff. Did you ever find someone?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Yo.
So this is my Evo 2. This is the rare one because it's got the SHP2 VIN tag that not many have got. You see there, it's got Bluetooth 5, SHP2, which is the last of the Evo 2s. The normal Evo 2 has got the OEJ with the VIN number.
Yes.
Only the very last ones had the SHP2, which stands for Evolution 2. And then this is the original Cutty's Calypso red. They painted the car brilliant red. It had 7 layers of paint in it. This was body filler. Now we stripped it down expecting the worst. There wasn't even one dent on the body. So we don't know why they put so much body. The roof, the sides, looked like the sea. It was so wavy. This is what they made on it. And one dent on it. This boot lid was thick like this. The roof was thick in body filler. We stripped it all the way down. Doesn't even need body filler. The one door, aluminium door, it was peeling. The aluminium had come apart and had a praying at some stage, so I sent that door to be repaired. So it's a matching number car. I've sent the interior to be redone, and it's only done.
This is the one you bought from Monet.
No. I bought this one in Joburg in lockdown.
Oh, okay.
No, Monet's one I sold.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Yeah, so this is one of 35 made in the world. It's a 1984 C1 ALPINA 2.3. There were only 6 made in right-hand drive, and there's only 2 left in the world. This is one of 2 right-hand drive in the world. It's a sad story. The guy that owned it died. His army left it under a tree, and look at the mileage that this car's got.
What? That's like nothing.
Yeah.
That's original. Check it out. Original Alpina clock. Check it out. What? Eh?
Yeah, so it had a little bit of rust in it, so I stripped it down with painted the car. But obviously it's got its original synth badge, got that, the original spoilers, it's all original.
Jeez, like even the wheels.
Yeah, those are original Alpina rims, I just had them refurbished.
Yes.
So this is...
And this was a 2.3 4-cylinder was.
The 6-cylinder.
Check this headlight.
323.
Eh?
Check this headlight.
Hey, windscreen wipers and windscreen sprayers. Jeez, like this South African car.
No, I brought it in from the UK.
Oh, okay.
Look at the, that's my 333R.
I didn't even notice this car yet.
Yeah.
I didn't even see it.
Now the BMW.
So it's got 120,000 Ks. The paintwork was shoddy and had been repainted. Here's the original front spoiler, 333R. This is number 148 out of 204 built. The interior looked like no one's even sat on the seat. Look at the seat.
I can see.
And that's original leather. Look at the door panels, everything.
You can even smell it inside. Yeah.
So there was a little bit of rust on the floor. We repainted the car. There's the front seats. They're like brand new. I've just had all the bumpers re-chromed.
Oh, okay. Yes.
And then the rims were so badly buckled, the guy lived on a farm
Okay.
in Nelspruit, so those rims were terrible, but they've been repaired properly now. The seats, you can see, are all original. They look like no one's even sat in them.
Hey, not even a crack and nothing. Look at that seat.
Sure.
So I've obviously all new rubbers, all new this. I spent a fortune. I'm managing a new cover for that when it goes in the boot. So I was just finishing saying that the motor's just been built at BG Engineering.
Okay.
Luckily I stripped it. The head had been re-welded a couple of times.
Okay.
So they had to refix it because it had a little leak, and then it had broken rings on the one piston.
okay.
So, but it's got its original brakes.
Still original ECU, all that stuff.
Everything original.
Jeez, like it, Ollie. And what's going to be the number on that one? 333. That must be a bar at least.
Look what I've managed to find while I was buying parts from BMW. Not those. Yeah. Original covers, you had an option with spotlights or without spotlights. These are the original part numbers from BMW.
Jeez, like it, eh?
This is an optional extra.
Phew.
Now then, that's a very rare car. That's a Lotus Cortina.
Okay.
the twin cam Lotus motor. They're spending stupid money in the get-go. All original steel. All original steel, hardly any filler, like unbelievable the condition of the car.
Jeez, like an exhaust inside of it.
Yeah, it's got a Simpson full race. The motor in this car is at the twin cam. I'll bring this car to you in at the motor's back. I'm just having it refreshed.
Okay, okay.
Very strong.
Yes, like it, eh? Well, so you got some money sitting on it.
Yeah.
You got fire cover.
Yeah.
Big fire cover. Are those all reproduction?
Yeah, we make all the bumpers and roof racks. We make all the stainless steel roof racks.
Ah, okay.
And then all the woodwork we make in everywhere, all the cupboards and.
Oh, okay, okay.
Now this bus, VW only started making a crew cab, double cab in December 1959.
Okay.
I've got it December 59.
Okay.
But there was a company called Binz that used to convert split window buses out to drive on railway tracks in the UK or in Germany.
Okay.
Then they did it. So what they did is they would take a single cab and convert it into a double cab.
Ah, okay, okay.
And
Okay, just cut the body and make it
And
longer.
the company was called Binz.
Okay.
Now this is a 1954. You see it's got no peak at the front here, like the
Okay.
other buses, and
Okay.
it's got a small little dash pod.
Ah, okay.
So this is 1954. This is the only one in the world. You can only look in it, I'll show you in a book. There's only one in a book. This is the only one that survived in the whole world. I found this in Zim. See how big the windows are?
Let's see.
You look how big the door is there. If you go look at a normal double cab, that's not like this.
they're shorter, yeah.
So this is, so we've just restored it, or just painted it, done on the metal, so this is assembled it.
Also no number.
No, that's, that is, you know what it's worth, that's the car.
Yo.
One day.
Yeah, well, you're getting to